You think there's an upside to this whole COVID-19? I do. Let's talk about it.
นั่งเล่นนอนเล่นลงเล่นน้ำหรือประกอบกิจกรรมใดๆลงเล่นกีฬาทางน้ำเราไม่อนุญาตนะครับเราไม่อนุญาตนะครับขอความร่วมมือนะครับ
Are you feeling a little stressed over the coronavirus, COVID-19? If so, JC is here to help you out a little bit. I hope everybody is staying safe, and if you did get the virus, that you recovered quickly and that you didn't give it to anybody else. Washing those hands, keep that in mind. But if you've been paying attention to anything but the mainstream media, there's a lot of websites that are actually tracking numbers and charting, and most of the world is now past the peak, and that curve is going down the other side. Now, you might not hear that from a lot of mainstream media, but it is the truth. And once that happens, it's exponential, that there's less and less people that actually can contract it. And that was the whole idea of herd immunity, which never happened for some countries. And flattening the curve has sort of pushed it longer and could come back in another way because enough people didn't really get herd immunity because of being in lockdown. But if you look at the countries that didn't do those draconian things like lockdown, which everybody, people on there, oh, you have to do it. But look at the countries that didn't, and it was exponential, the growth, and then it hit the peak very quickly and then descended down the other side. That's the normal way viruses work. So anyway, but a lot of people are stressed. I see a lot of people, talking, and I'm thinking, got to be some way to just chill. JC, just chill, right? Now, probably been 2 years ago, I showed you all a signature drink that was called what was it called now? With the Just Chillin', that's right. My Just Chillin'. And what it was sort of like a pina colada, but with mango instead of pineapple. Oh, it was really good, really good. So I was thinking, okay, we got this coronavirus. What can I make? What can I make? I want to make something different. Because now that we've gone down the other side and things are starting to straighten out and the light at the end of the tunnel, I wanted to make something special for this. So I put together in my mind something I call Corona Colada. So we're going to try a Corona Colada tonight. And what's the ingredients are, and you can watch me make it. I think it's going to be great, though. I really do. But you never know. I could be, maybe I'll never show this because it'll be so bad. But anyway, what we've got is some regular coconut milk, unsweetened. This is just this is like the water out of green coconuts that in Thailand here we can get. And it's unsweetened. It's 100% coconut water. And so we have that. And we've got some canned lychee. And what I had Nat take half this can with the juice that's in there and freeze it into a bag. So we got frozen lychee with half the juice from the can. And don't look here. Nah, we've got some frozen bananas, which Nat really doesn't want me to show you because they look black. Because we don't do a lot of these kinds of drinks, but we have frozen bananas, so I don't have to use ice. Good thing. So we have the frozen lychee, the frozen bananas, so that'll thicken it up, make it cold, because I want a frozen drink. Corona Colada, it's got to be frozen, right? Yeah. Now, I think when either the United States or Thailand says, okay, no problem, you can stay out, no more curfews or anything, I think we'll do one of these with Havana Club, 7-year Havana Club, special rum. That's some good stuff there. That's sipping rum, though. I wouldn't put that in a frozen drink. Nah, that ain't going to happen. That's sipping rum. We've got Sangsom here. That reminds me a lot of the rum I used to drink down in Costa Rica. I forget the name now. Really good rum. But anyway, Sangsom's a good rum as well. Like it. So anyway, let's go ahead and put this thing together real quick so I don't get too long-winded with this. So what I'm going to do, now you got to be really careful about these ingredients. This is scientific, right? So everything's got to be perfect. Okay? So we're going to pour a little of this in here. We got about that much of the coconut milk, unsweetened. This coconut water. We've got some of that in there. And don't ask me how much that was. Some of our black frozen bananas. That's it. Just show them the bananas in the bag. Don't show them our frozen ones. They look bad. Yeah, I agree. But they taste good, actually, because they were real soft when we put them in here. So they're ripe, very ripe bananas, so they're sweet. And let me put a few more of those in there. There we go. I think one more will do it. A little chunk. So, we got the bananas in there as well. And the last ingredient, second to last ingredient is this frozen lychee. I love lychee. Lychee, it's getting to be lychee season here in Thailand right now. And oh my God, they're one of my favorite fruits of anything is lychee. We call lychee here, but you all call them lychee. And so then the last ingredient is Sangsom. Now be careful when you measure this out because it could be a little dangerous. So that looks like about a shot there. Come on, it's a Corona. Got to kill the virus. There we go. Okay, so a little extra there. Put the top on. And it's Corona Colada time. So I'm going to go ahead and turn this on, but it's going to be noisy. Whoop, I should have kept the top on. It exploded. Anyway, there we go. A Corona Colada. Oh, man. Oh, look at this. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Should I let Nat taste it first? I usually taste food for her to make sure that she doesn't die. I got to be the tape tester, but I think this way it should be the opposite. So, hold on a second. Nat's going to have a hit. And she doesn't drink alcohol. Well, a wine cooler now and then, so. Oh, she gave it a let's see.
So sweet. อร่อยมาก
Oh my God. Wow. Oh, you all have to try this. Oh man, I should open a bar. Just the Just Chillin' bar and have Just Chillin' coladas and Corona Colada. There you go. So we got more video coming at you. I got some things to tell you, but I just wanted to turn you on to a Corona Colada, and let's get into some other information I think would be useful, but you got to check this out. This is really, really good. Man, it's thick, it's cold, it's a little bit sweet with the rum. Oh man, good stuff. Hey, JC here. So, is there an upside besides being able to make new cool drinks? Yeah, I think there's a lot. So let's talk about this. Because some of this stuff I think the end result of this is going to be great. And you're probably saying, well, people are under lockdown, whole countries, businesses are decimated, economies are decimated, people have died. How could there be an upside? Well, I think there are. Personally, there's been upsides. When I'm allowed to go to the beach, and I'm really not allowed to go to the beach, you know, people can't go out and get fresh air and sunshine and exercise because that's deemed as having the capability of spreading a virus, and so you're not supposed to do that. But it's been more quiet. The construction in my building has basically ceased. Illegal daily rental has ended. I get to spend more time with the family. Everything is cool. More time to focus on other projects that I have going on. But I just want to talk about some of the things, you know, because you're probably saying, well, where's the upside in that? First of all, let's talk about this COVID-19 thing for just a second. I gave out to my members on my member site a video, and it was subsequently taken down by YouTube. I shared it with my members, both present members and past members. And that was about some doctors that own a clinic. And you might have seen this. Like 9 million views before it got taken down. Doctors in a clinic, they have like 5, 6 clinics in California. They looked at the numbers of all the cases that they came up with, that came in through their clinic, and the fatality rates of people, and they mapped out the CDC numbers, the actual CDC numbers of cases and fatalities, which matched their numbers that they came up with. And they put out a video, it's about an hour, of if you extrapolate those numbers out from the CDC and everything, and you can say, well, we don't have enough testing. We have enough tests, we have enough data now. Now, when this first all started out, you can probably say that, policeman's coming, so I better have my mask on. You can probably say that, yeah, this is all warranted. We needed to have this lockdown, and you might agree with that. You might say, yeah. We needed the lockdown because there was a lot of fear. We were told everything was being given to us by the Imperial College and WHO. Now, you might want to look at who funds those because there's a commonality there. But that's where all the fear and the projections, which have, garbage in, garbage out. And so they mapped out this whole thing of how many millions of people were going to die and everything. It didn't come to fruition. But I understand that the fear, okay, lockdown, everything. But now there's enough data. And so this is what I'm questioning now. And these doctors took the data and said, okay, all this data now, let's use it. The amount of, first of all, a couple things. And I'll try. I can't give you the link to the video because it's been taken down, but look for it. And the doctors basically said a couple things that I thought were really important. One is not that there's hardly any difference between the countries that locked down the fatality rate and those that didn't lock down. Also, the amount of people that have the cases of the lockdown and not lockdown, about the percentages are going to be about the same. And as we get more testing, if we do blanket testing, you're going to see more and more people had come in contact with it and never even knew it. And as that number of cases increases, and the fatality rate, which is being adjusted as well, and that's common knowledge. Just go look on do your own research on that. I mean, they've been told that if somebody jumps out of a plane, their parachute doesn't open, and they splatter on the ground, check them for COVID-19. If they had COVID-19, that's the cause of death. And I'm not exaggerating. This is true.
Well, last Friday, I received a 7-page document that sort of told me that if I had an 86-year-old patient that had pneumonia but was never tested for COVID-19, but sometime after she came down with pneumonia, we learned that she had been exposed to her son who had no symptoms, but later on was identified with COVID-19, that it would be appropriate to diagnose on the death certificate COVID-19. Now, we've not done that. If someone has the pneumonia and it's in the middle of a flu epidemic, and I don't have a test on influenza, I don't diagnose influenza on the death certificate. I will say this elderly patient died of pneumonia.
Why would they want to skew the number of deaths due to COVID-19?
Well, fear is a great way to control people.
You can go look at it. It's not a conspiracy theory. By the way, conspiracy theory came up. The CIA created that term when anybody would question the Warren Commission of the JFK assassination. They look it up. I'm not telling you anything. I'm just telling you the truth. Anyway, so the numbers. Not that many more people have it percentage-wise of the countries that locked down or didn't lock down. As the numbers are going to grow, when they actually come out or come up with antibody tests and see actually who came in contact with this, they're going to find out that a lot more people had it than what they thought. And so that number is going to get bigger. And so the percentage of fatalities is going to get smaller and smaller and smaller. And you're going to find out, and that's what they're already seeing, that this was no more deadly than the common flu. Now, in Thailand, look at this. You're not allowed to be at the beach. People have lost their businesses. They've lost their jobs, devastated the economy, which is the same in almost all the countries that have been affected by this. This isn't anything different. Now, why would they do that if the numbers are so small? And you say, well, no, a percentage in people, and it's deadly. And okay, keep things in perspective here. This week it came out in the news. The head of the response team for COVID-19 said there's not going to be a new normal. Basically, we're going to have to live like this for a while, and don't expect to go back the way things were. We're going to continue this for another month. And he cited Bill Gates, Gates' opinion on what to do. Wait for the vaccine. Okay. Now, of the whole time this has been going on, and we've locked down a whole country, 32 provinces for the last 2 weeks have had no cases. The whole country this week, I don't know about the last 2 or 3 days, but last time I looked 3 or 4 days ago, there was less than 10 for 69 million people, almost 70 million people. And only, I think it was 7 people, new cases of 69 million, but we're still in lockdown. Of the whole time this has been going on, 59 people died. 59! Traffic fatalities under normal circumstances, the average is 69 a day, and we don't shut down the country for traffic fatalities. This makes no sense at all. None whatsoever. And these doctors, in this video, it was great. They talked about if you lock people in their house, make them wear masks when they go out, disinfect everything, lower their immune system by doing all these things, plus, like here, oh, you're not supposed to go out to the beach. Now, why don't they say, okay, yeah, you can go to the beach, but make sure you have a group of less than 5 people, you have some social distancing, because social distancing is good. You won't overwhelm the medical system. And by the way, I should say, I'm not saying there's not a virus, I'm not saying that people don't die, I'm not saying any of that. The response is what I'm questioning, whether it was warranted. And the social distancing will work. They do that in like Sweden, social distancing. People go to work. Take the people that are at risk, the people that are older, that have comorbidities, separate them. I mean, when there was leprosy, they didn't quarantine the world and say, oh, we got to protect you from lepers. No, they quarantined the lepers. If somebody has COVID-19 or whatever, tell them go home, stay at home, put on a mask. Get them away from everybody else, just like you do at work. If somebody comes into work with the flu, you tell them go home. We don't want everybody in the office to get it. And protect the old people, and protect the people that are sick until this thing dies down. But no, we're going to shut down everything. So what that does to the immune system, when you're not coming in contact with any germs, protect yourself with masks and disinfectants, don't go out, don't get vitamin D, don't get exercise. As soon as people go out, like here, you didn't let enough people get immune to this thing because you locked them down. Yeah, it's going to go away, but as soon as you open it back up, if there's any cases, they're going to spread again because there's so many people that didn't get immune in the first place. That's that second wave. This is absurd. Not to mention, in America and everywhere else, all these social issues, alcoholism has increased, the drinking, domestic abuse, suicides, you name it. And those things will last forever, even when the COVID-19 goes away. So, you know, there's no upside to this. It just makes no sense at all. But you're being told, no, wait for the vaccine. You can't. It's deadly. Well, look at the numbers. You do that. And you can't look on YouTube. You can't look on Google. You can't look on Facebook. Everything's being censored. I put this video up of these doctors. It went down. After 9 million views, obviously people were interested in what they had to say. And there was no misinformation. There was no propaganda. There was no anything. They were just stating the obvious and their experience. And it was taken down. Zuckerberg, Facebook. People are organizing in America. So you're probably actually saying at this point, come on, get to the point. You said there's some upside. The upside is people don't have any distractions anymore. They haven't been at work. They haven't, gone out with their friends. They haven't, gone to the baseball games with their kids and the sporting events and all this stuff. They don't want to watch reruns of the Masters from 5 years ago. All that stuff. And so people are realizing they're getting information passed to them, and then they go to see and it's taken down. They're getting alternative opinions where they never would have gotten before. They're looking at this because they're feeling the pain and saying, wait, does this make any sense? I think there's going to be something that wasn't expected come out of this, and this is the upside, is there's going to be a great awakening that the world isn't the way we perceived it. But before I go any further, I want to say, and make this very clear. I'm not a Democrat. I'm not a Republican. I'm not a conservative. I'm not a liberal. I think I voted once in my life because I realized it didn't matter who you voted for. It was an illusion of choice. It was like you telling your kid you want to go to bed at 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock, and the child thinks he has a choice whether to go to bed. No, every person I saw getting elected, they promised one thing and didn't do anything. They gave the people what they wanted to hear, and that was it. So I didn't fall for that. And like George Carlin said, you got to be part of the club.
There's a reason education sucks, and it's the same reason that it will never, ever, ever be fixed. It's never going to get any better. Don't look for it. Be happy with what you got. Because the owners of this country don't want that. I'm talking about the real owners now. The real owners, the big wealthy business interests that control things and make all the important decisions. Forget the politicians. The politicians are put there to give you the idea that you have freedom of choice. You don't. You have no choice. You have owners. They own you. They own everything. They own all the important land. They own and control the corporations. They've long since bought and paid for the Senate, the Congress, the state houses, the city halls. They got the judges in their back pockets. And they own all the big media companies, so they control just about all of the news and information you get to hear. They got you by the balls. They spend billions of dollars every year lobbying to get what they want. Well, we know what they want. They want more for themselves and less for everybody else. But I'll tell you what they don't want. They don't want a population of citizens capable of critical thinking. They don't want well-informed, well-educated people capable of critical thinking. They're not interested in that. That doesn't help them. That's against their interest. That's right. They don't want people who are smart enough to sit around the kitchen table and figure out how badly they're getting by a system that threw them overboard 30 years ago, and now they're coming for your Social Security money. They want your retirement money. They want it back so they can give it to their criminal friends on Wall Street. And you know something? They'll get it. They'll get it all from you sooner or later because they own this place. It's a big club, and you ain't in it. You and I are not in the big club. By the way, it's the same big club they used to beat you over the head with all day long when they tell you what to believe. All day long, beating you over the head in their media, telling you what to believe, what to think, and what to buy. The table is tilted, folks. The game is rigged. And nobody seems to notice. Nobody seems to care.
And the people that were elected were part of the club until Trump. Now, I got to tell you a story about Trump. Again, I'm not a Democrat, I'm not a Republican. I just want to tell you a story. When I worked for Tony Robbins, I had and I'll tell this story. I don't think Trump will mind me telling the story. And this is, I had the opportunity to go pick him up from the airport, bring him to an event, to a venue that we were doing an event at, multi-speaker event. He was one of the speakers. So I rode with him in the limousine and stuff, and he's a New Yorker. I don't get along with New Yorkers. Just, we have a different personality. So I thought he was sort of a... And he got up to speak. And after berating Tony Robbins for getting a divorce without a prenuptial agreement, you know, he went on to tell a story. And the story epitomizes why he's been attacked since he mentioned his candidacy. Non-stop. And this is, he's not part of the club. He told the story that when he was down and lost all his money, there were a lot of people could have reached out and helped him out, helped him get back on his feet. Nobody did. So when he started to get back on top and make his money back and everything, his secretary came into his office and said, so-and-so's on the phone, wants to talk to you. Now, he said, this was somebody that could have helped me out when I was down, didn't do it. He said, tell so-and-so, go back and get on the phone, tell so-and-so to go himself. And that epitomized a lot of things about Trump. But one of the things is, he wasn't part of the club. Nobody wanted to help him when he was down. Of course, they wanted to be part of him, you know, opportunistic when he started to get back on his feet, but they don't want to. He's not part of the club. Now, people say he's stupid. The guy's not stupid. He'll be the first one to tell you he's a horrible public speaker. Now I can tell you that. You know, horrible. Too bad he couldn't talk like Obama. You know, Obama was a great orator. But he's not stupid. And you should, you know, use logic for a second. I mean, this guy built all this stuff in New York City where you got mafia and you got unions and everything that have to be negotiated and paid off and all this stuff to play in that arena, in that game. It's not for idiots. You couldn't do it. You couldn't do it. And even in other countries and stuff like that, you couldn't do it. The guy's smart. He's just bad at certain things and good at certain things. And he's not part of the club. So he's been attacked since he mentioned his candidacy. You got to ask why. Why would he be under attack? When he first started running and, or he became president, there was all this, Antifa and white supremacy. Oh, they back him and stuff. If there was all these white supremacy groups and stuff, where were they when a black man became president? You didn't see them protesting or anything? No. He's under attack by the people that are threatened. And it was a club. It was an illusion of democracy in our country. I don't know about the rest of the countries, but it's an illusion. Don't kid yourself. And so he was a threat to the status quo, and he still is. He's got to be eliminated at all costs. And just look, it's just one thing right after the other. If this doesn't work, now they're going to attack him about this whole response to the virus. And they attack him because, look and see on the mainstream media over 4 years, almost 4 years, if there's ever been, you show me the mainstream media one thing, one report of anything that says he did a good job on anything, that supported him on any issue. You're not going to find it. Because all the mainstream media, and you can look this up, they're all owned by 6 companies, and all those 6 companies are threatened. The people that are involved, people involved in the government at every position, businesses. I mean, come on. This isn't... So how does that apply to the COVID-19? People are waking up to this stuff. I can see it. I can see it. It's happening, and it's happening quick. And I think these people are getting really stressed out and that are threatened by people actually seeing and knowing what was going on, because these numbers don't pan out. These numbers don't make any sense. And all I'm going to say, I'm not going to say anything and go down any rabbit hole. You can do that, but they say wait till the vaccine comes out, that'll protect everybody from this flu, basically. See who's making the vaccines. Who's invested in that? If they say, oh, we're going to have tracking to know who got the vaccine, who didn't. Do some research. Don't do Google, because Google invested in drug companies making the vaccine. Zuckerberg and Facebook invested. I'm not telling you, this isn't conspiracy theory. Do your own work. But don't look in Google. Go to DuckDuckGo or something and type it in, because you'll get completely different results from searches, because you're only given the information that they want you to get. And so, I mean, all these videos, people send me videos. This video of the doctors, I sent it out, the link. People sent me things, now it's taken down. 9 million views, they took it down. People wanted to know that information and share it, because it told the facts. And so people send me videos, links, and it's gone. There's censorship to a massive degree. People are organizing in America to protest the lockdown. Doesn't make any sense, and they've had enough, and they want to get back to business and work. And of course, mainstream media has never said anything good about anything about a way to, a drug that helps out with this. They don't promote any kind of drug that treats people that have symptoms. No, can't do that. And you got to stay in the lockdown. Oh, it's unconscionable if you're going to go out and kill people because you didn't wear the mask and you didn't and all this stuff. People are starting to see this. People are starting to wake up. And so anyway, people want to organize in America. And Zuckerberg, you can go on and do the thing and look at yourself. There's a video of him saying, he was asked. People say that you're taking down videos of this organization organizing for these protests of the lockdown. He says, yeah, we're taking them off. It's misinformation.
How do you deal with the fact that Facebook is now being used to organize a lot of these protests to defy social distancing, defy the social distancing guidelines in states? Is somebody trying to organize something like that, does that qualify as harmful information?
We do classify that as harmful misinformation, and we take that down.
How is that misinformation? That's exercising your right as an American citizen. It's one of our rights. And so, it's just crazy. But people are waking up. There's a great awakening coming. The fires are getting turned up here. There's going to be more and more attacks, more vicious attacks to get Trump out before there's tens of thousands of sealed indictments that are going to be opened up. This whole thing with Flynn is just the beginning. It's going to start now. And these people got to get rid of this guy. Because look if you do look at the executive order he signed when he became president about having the right to seize the assets of any company or person involved or convicted of human trafficking. And look how many CEOs of major companies stepped down within weeks of that announcement or that law being signed into effect. So I really think people are going to start to connect the dots. I think the world's going to change. I think we're at a crossroads right now, and I think this was an unexpected result of this. So yeah, it's horrifying, and it's horrible that people's lives have been changed, their livelihoods have been taken away from them. I think this got pushed too far. I think whatever's responsible for this, I won't say who, but whatever's responsible for this, didn't plan on people waking up and being cognizant of incongruencies of the whole narrative and everything about it. And if they did it with this, go back and start looking at other things you had questions about or didn't make a lot of sense. And you're going to see it's a club. It's a club. I mean, you can go in and see all the lies we've been told before about everything, weapons of mass destruction, and I could just go on and on. And I don't get into it. I don't preach about it. I don't delve into all this stuff and try and inform the world. It's not my job, not my circus, not my monkeys. I know how it works. And people, I know that the pendulum swings just like the Tao, Taoism. It's going to swing. It always has. It goes a certain direction in a bad way, and then swings back to normalcy or to something better. And I think this is going to be a great awakening. I think the world's going to be a better place because we were on the brink of disaster here. And if this continues and it's allowed and people don't stand up like you watching this, don't stand up and say, no, you can vaccinate people, come up with a vaccine. That's great if people want to take it, but don't make me take the vaccine. If they start demanding you put holes in your arms or carry tracking devices or any of this stuff, you need to push back. You need to push back as anybody that believes in freedom and liberty. Don't go down that road. Don't let your governments go down that road. Do your own investigation. Do your own thing. And if you don't believe anything I said, more power to you. If you believe the world is a great, benevolent, and fair place, I commend you. I really do. That you're able to hold on to that in the midst of the craziness that's going on in the world. And, ignorance is bliss. There's no doubt about it. But, I just wanted to mention this, that I think this is a great thing. I really do. I think all the people that have suffered, lost their jobs, lost loved ones and everything in this, I want to thank you for your sacrifice, because you all have sacrificed for something greater than yourselves. And I really do think that something really great is going to come out of this. I think there is a great awakening, and it's happening. So fasten your seatbelt, and I'll be still reporting from Thailand. Most of my members stayed members during all this thing. I think more people are going to need to be over here in Thailand because they've lost assets, they've lost freedoms, they've lost all the things that we still have here to a certain degree, and hopefully this place will gain some sanity as well, because it's going down a road right now that isn't pretty. But I think people will wake up here as well. But anyway, you take care of yourself no matter what. If you believe in COVID-19 or whatever, stay safe, stay well, and fight for your freedoms. That's all I got to say. I'm going to walk down the beach until they kick me out. There's little trucks going up and down saying, no, you can't be on the beach. You can't get fresh air and sunshine and exercise and feel good and all the things that create a healthy, strong immune system. Can't do that. No, 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 no. 59 people died. Less than 10 cases. New cases a day of 70 million people. It's insane. So take care of yourself, and I'll be back at you. Think about becoming a member. Help support us. The orphanages need our money now more than ever. And I'll see you on the flip side. Take care. I'm going to go get another Corona Colada. JC out. Hey, JC here. If you like that video, make sure to give us a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel here. Also, we have another video up here you're going to be really interested in watching as well. And if you're looking for all the details of how to retire in Thailand in one place, plus a group of people to support you, check this out over here. Give it a click.